There are two primary aspects to the criminal charges laid against the Atlanta police officer on Wednesday. The first is the legal concept of due process, which dates itself back to Chapter 39 of King John's Magna Carta. It is a fundamental concept not only in the British system, but in the Canadian and American justice systems, both of which emanate from the basis of English common law. The concept of due process seems to be absolutely absent in Atlanta, Georgia, in the wake of the officer-involved shooting of Rayshard Brooks by Officer Garrett Rolfe last Sunday evening. Within hours of the shooting, the baying mob began howling long before the details were known. The knee-jerk reaction of the mob was startling. If you have ever wondered how a lynch mob got started years ago, have a look at this case and its aftermath in Atlanta, and you'll see a modern-day lynching. On Monday, Officer Rolfe and his partner Devin Brosnan were fired, ostensibly for cause, by the Atlanta Police Department. Not suspended pending the results of an investigation, just termination. Due process? Not in Atlanta. Those officers' lawyers are salivating at the size of the check their clients are looking at as this case winds ahead. On Wednesday, District Attorney Paul Howard announced charges, including murder being laid against Rolfe and lesser charges against Brosnan. Due process seems to have taken a vacation in this process as well. Howard announced the charges prior to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation even completing their file. There's no question Howard did this to try and silence the mob. The cynic in me might also suggest Howard is just 2 weeks away from his primary election, and he is under a corruption investigation as well. In the process of doing so, Howard handed Wolfe a built-in defense before the matter has even begun in the court process. If you thought the mob was loud before, wait until you hear the baying after Wolfe is acquitted at trial, based on the defense Howard provided him. The other troubling aspect is the reaction of many Atlanta police officers in their sick calls, or blue flu as some wags have been calling it. The baying mob has been calling for defunding the police and, in the more extreme aspects, disbanding the police. One wonders what these deep thinkers suppose is going to replace the police. One need look no further than the so-called chop zone of a small piece of downtown Seattle. The police gave up their 3rd precinct station, and the vacant building forms a cornerstone of the CHOP area. Police are not allowed within, and the lawlessness on display is frightening. Last night, there were 2 shootings within the boundaries of CHOP, and the police were not able to get to them due to the crowd of losers who really think they are something special. At least 1 victim died at the scene, and to date there is no update on the other person. Needless to say, there is no updated suspect information. The police are an integral part of our society, which is based on law and order and the safety of the public. If we take them out of the equation, public safety and law and order are no longer in the discussion, and we are at the mercy of left-wing anarchists no matter the label we put on them. Antifa or Black Lives Matter, it is all the same. It's no secret that in all the jurisdictions this is occurring are all politically left-wing governments. There's a reason for that. Anarchy isn't pretty, and the flashes we have seen of it are frankly frightening. The police in places like Minneapolis, Seattle, and Portland need to push back against their political masters and take control back of their streets and their cities. Anything else is surrendering to the anarchists, and that would be disastrous to the whole of society. For True North, I'm Leo Knight.